Hi, welcome to Decode REI. This is Mina Ricky.
Yes, welcome to Decode REI. This is Lydia Korczak.
Today we are going to talk about an interview we did to Senate Eskridge. Senate is originally from Idaho, and he's been growing from a 9 to 5 kind of guy to politics. We didn't talk about that, but into politics, and then he went into real estate with single family homes, and then he continued to grow to multifamily, which is apartment housing.
He's a definitely very interesting character. I like him very much. I see him all the time in all of our get together for the multifamily, and he's very intriguing. He's actually a coach as well. So he started from basically nothing and he grew his portfolio into impressive level.
Yes, he went into detail about talking about mindset and investing on yourself, investing on becoming a better, bigger person. The desire and then the coaching, the learning, the looking for somebody to guide you, and the importance of it. He talked about how when he was starting to do single family homes, how he will look at a building and say, one day I'm gonna have this building. And today the funny thing is he has completely surpassed that goal,
Sure
and
did.
and he could get the building, but he doesn't want it because the building actually doesn't have much value.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that funny? Like, have dreams, work towards them, join the group, have the team, and you will accomplish it. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not even having the clarity of the next step or the next place where you want to be and go there. Don't worry too much if it's exactly right or if it's exactly what you want. Just have that direction. That way you can start moving towards that direction, because it's easier to change directions once you are walking than it is that start walking. So once you're walking, it's easier just to move a little bit to the right or a little bit to the left. Now, I'm not saying just somebody said in one of the books, I can't remember who, I am sorry, but somebody said, there's nothing more stupid than a person running in the wrong direction enthusiastically. So don't be that dumb person that running in the wrong direction enthusiastically. Do have a direction, but get moving.
Totally. So, in any businesses, I think, any business owners, if you really talk about it, the hardest thing is to start. So, analysis paralysis, you could be super smart, you could know a lot of many things, but you would be afraid to start because you want it to be perfect. Just go do it. You'll figure it out as you go. Perfection, it's not a thing nowadays. I think we all kind of stumble into things and go. So, Senate started from something and then he grew into it. And you guys go check out his website. His website is impressive and his portfolio is impressive. Plus, he has a coaching business. He's teaching people. He mentioned something about he's going to start big. I bet that's a coaching class that he's going to release. I bet you. I don't know. I'm just guessing, but I mean, he's just a wealth of knowledge. Each and every time I have a chance to talk to him and see him, I enjoy a conversation because they're very deep, they're straight to the point, and he's just so simple. You know what's impressive about Senate? He's just a simple guy, but yet his portfolio is impressive. His background is impressive, and his name is impressive. Senate. Mina, I have a story to tell you about Senate.
Okay, go ahead.
So when I heard somebody says, "Oh, is Senate here?" and I'm like thinking, "Is that a congressman? Is that a
Uh-huh.
senator?" I honestly thought that Senate was some type of a senator, and I'm like, "Is he like in a government politics or something?" And then I found out he was, but he's not actual real Senate. And I asked him, I said, "Did your mama name you Senate, or you named yourself?" And his mama named him Senate, and I thought he was a politician.
Hmm. I wonder if our names that our parents gave us do have an influence of who we become. But that's another story for another time.
Yes.
Sinnett has a way of listening. He's almost trained himself to listen and to be attentive of what's going on around him. You were mentioning it, Lydia. But the one thing that struck me the most interesting is the capacity of being uncomfortable.
Mm.
And I think that is something that we can all do a little bit more of. It's easy to go to do things that you're already good at. It's easy to continue with that routine, but getting uncomfortable, getting out of your comfort zone and being okay with failure and being okay with learning and being okay with exposing that you don't know much about certain things. Well, that takes a little bit of, you know, walls. I don't know how else to call it, but it is the only way to grow, really.
Totally agree with you. Being uncomfortable makes you grow, definitely. And he's constantly says that he's comfortable being uncomfortable, which is kind of like, interesting.
Yes, yes. If I only do everything I only have done, what I've done so far has got me to this point. But if I want to keep growing, then I'm going to have to put myself on a different place, on a different position, so I can get there. Because so far, what I've done is only got me to here. It's fine if I just want to keep and stay here. But if I want to grow any further, which I think we must, as humans, if we stop growing, we start going backwards. There is no such thing as staying stable in one place. You have to keep growing or you're going to start deteriorating yourself. Why? Because the world continues to move. So you have to continue to move with the world. My dad, he was a doctor in a small town, and it's funny, he never learned computers. He
Mm.
still uses a typewriter. And when I take my friends from the States to Mexico, everybody is like so amazed by it. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen one in a long time. And they get in it and they
He's
start
like,
like, yes, playing with
it's so
it.
funny.
But yeah, my dad stopped growing. He just didn't have that growth mindset. There was a point where he's like, I've done everything I had to do. I don't want to learn anymore. And he didn't say it consciously. He just kind of let it go, and that's what is a little bit dangerous. And it's okay if you, like, my dad is 72, he couldn't care less, he's fine. But if you are wanting to continue to grow, if you're not satisfied with where you are, or if you, even if you are satisfied but you want to challenge yourself to the next thing, then we have to be uncomfortable for sure.
Totally agree with you. Being uncomfortable is definitely not fun, anyway, especially for me. But I know that's the pain growth. The growth of pain is being uncomfortable 100%. So one of the things he mentioned is he's such a giving person. And he mentioned about the summit that he's going to have in his state, Idaho. And anyone that can go there, I advise you going there. And if anybody will go there, I advise you to go there as VIP, because to have access to all those people for, individual one-on-one, it's mind blowing to me. Like, I would be all over that. I think we have conflicting schedules, so that's why we cannot make it. But man, whoever's there, I'm jealous already of them, because they're going to get one on one attention from all of these people that just thriving, not even growing, they're thriving, they're evolving, they're shooting to the skies. And in life and in business, this is, I think, a secret sauce. If you look at somebody who's successful, or you look at somebody that's accomplished, or you look at somebody that's happy, I think it's the person that's always constantly thriving and evolving.
Yes, that's right. And the reason why he is passionate about this summit is because, in a way, there is no way we can just grow by ourselves and sustain ourselves. We need our community to be rich. There is no point of being a million or a king of stupid. Like, if everybody's stupid and you're the king, well, yay, whatever. It's not that amazing. It's not that fun either. But hey, if you have a thriving community, a growing community that will challenge you and they will make you do things the best way possible that you can do it, and they will give you the success, then you will enjoy it a lot more. Plus, you're going to have people around you that has similar interests. An interest would be to keep your city clean, to keep your city without, drugs or homeless or things like that. It's a community. It takes a community to do that.
Talk about community. I love his answer on Crystal Ball. He's foreseeing a huge community, like, mixed use apartment complexes. And he's seeing that the generation that we have it's going to be apartment generation. They're going to rent. They don't want to own anything and have everything conveniently located there, from a gym to work, to condos for apartment. That's pretty genius. So it tells me he's probably going to be in this business very long time, and very interesting perspective. What do you think, Mina?
I have heard reports on, I heard China has or other countries were building these small cities,
Mm.
right? It was a one building with everything in it. And I have seen it also in Mexico where there is like the living area, then the mall area, and then the office area, and everything is right there. And it is very attractive because it's a controlled environment. So there is so much happening in our world, in our society. There is so much quote unquote danger going on. So if somebody wants to be just calm and have an easy life, and I don't want to deal with that, I don't want to deal with that in a daily basis, I will help in different ways, but I don't want to live through that, and I don't want to expose my children to that. I want to have this controlled environment. I think those buildings are going to have personalities.
Hmm.
Like I bet she's gonna be like the crazy rock punk people live on that building, and then the gardeners live on that building, and then I think it's gonna be a
Hmm.
little bit like that probably. I mean, just by having a pulse on society and what's going on, it seems that people really tend to be looking for their own tribes and get together.
So it's a lifestyle. So people are going to connect to each other lifestyle. Interesting. And I totally can see that happening. So we know the future now. We know the future of multifamily. Interesting. I do believe that will happen because we're seeing that in different countries. It's happening. So I think it's going to get to United States as well. I think it's already happening because more and more new projects that I'm looking at, I'm seeing multi-level things, from restaurants to offices, to gyms. It's like everything convenient because nowadays we want everything yesterday, not even now, yesterday. Look at the Amazon Prime, Prime even delivers food within, like, if you're in a big city, within like hours, right? So I so see that.
And it's not a new concept. There is a book called The Worldly Philosophers,
Mm.
where I was reading concepts about this socialism and the communism and the capitalism. And 100 years ago, 200 years ago, there were people already in different parts of the world, but definitely here in the United States, where they will get together and build a building, and then they wanted to just live in community. Now, it has never worked because human nature is that when everybody's equal, somebody wants to raise to the top. It's just human nature. So it hasn't worked. It has been done before, and there's been a lot of attempts, but it hasn't worked. Now, this is a little bit different because we're still capitalist. So we will
Mhm.
pay for the housing, we will pay for the services. No, we will not look for a leader or anything like that,
Mm.
but living in that community idea is is very old.
Mm.
Another point about that is that just the newer generations are
Mhm.
not
Yes.
into cutting the grass, and
Mhm.
they don't want to get under the sink to change the pipes, the water pipes. They don't want to get just the technicalities of it. Even if they wanted to, I don't think the newer generations know how. I barely know how to do those things, and I'm already 40. And so these 20-year-old kids, they definitely have probably no interest on getting into any of that. So renting, it is gonna become a more
Popular.
popular
Mm.
way of living.
and acceptable. I think it's popular and acceptable. Yeah. Well, I don't know about you folks, but I want to own those buildings.
Yes, in a way, not only for the money, but also because then you can become responsible of providing housing that is safe, that is clean, that is up to date. It's all of that. It's wholesome. It's not just the money. It's also being part of the movement that keeps our society growing and moving forward.
True. Given to the community and given to, the world by owning those units. So like I
Mhm.
said, I think it's like the relationship between the resident and the landlord. I think it's a teamwork. If you don't want to own it, somebody got to own your own property. Somebody got to pick up that slack. Somebody has to own it. Who's going to own it? A government going to own it? Maybe. But I think an individual will have a better, if the individual has a good giving heart, can do a better deal. Definitely, I can see it being a little bit abused, probably for the money. But I think there is I met a lot of successful people who are very giving. Senate is one of them. I see him and his wife, Carrie, is amazing. You need to check out his wife, Carrie. She's also runs a lot of business things, right?
Yes, and she's also in that growth mindset, and she is transparent. We're gonna have her. We're gonna
Yeah,
invite
we're
her
going to bring
to
her over.
to
Definitely.
to
Yes.
our program. With nothing else to share for now, we thank you so much for joining us. We love to have you around us, and we'll see you on the next one.
Yes, thank you. We enjoy, talking to you guys. So, reach out to us. We want to hear from you. We want to hear from our listeners. What would you like us discuss? Which topic? And also, any other fields besides multifamily that you want us to cover? Because we have access to a lot of operators, a lot of owners in different sphere of industries. So we want to hear from you, our listeners. We're here
Yes,
for you.
my email is Mina, Mina, at decoderei.com.
And mine is Lydia. So it's Lidiya at decoderei.com.
Thank you for reaching out. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
listening. God
Yes.
bless.
God bless. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.